What's up, guys? Jake Bartecki for WTL, taking a look at some of the NASCAR bets for this weekend's Iowa Corn 350, the first ever race in our neighbors to the east in Iowa. Let's first take a look at some best bets, and one of these bets I really like, and it's maybe my pick to win the race. I want to see how qualifying and practice shakes out, but I love Chris Buescher at plus 1,800. And here's the reason. This track is very similar to Richmond in configuration and size. Buescher has 3 top 10s in his last 4 Richmond starts and a win in one of those 4 as well. RFK Racing has been really strong lately. Both Brad and Chris Buescher have found themselves towards the front. Brad Keselowski went to victory lane at Darlington, and they've been in the front at almost every race lately. So maybe Chris gets another checkered flag for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. The next one I like is Kyle Larson at plus 550. And here's the reason. He's super consistent. When you go to a new track and you're picking new drivers, you have to think about what kind of driver can win in any car, what kind of driver is versatile on any sort of track. And that's basically a carbon copy definition of what Kyle Larson is as a race car driver. Hell, 2 days after he won at Sonoma, gets his 26th career win, ties Dale Earnhardt Jr. for career wins. He comes here to Nebraska and wins in the dirt track racing at Eagle on Tuesday night in the sprint cars. He can win anytime, any place. I like that for a track that we don't have a Cup Series notebook for. And lastly, I like Martin Truex Jr. The luck has to change at some point, right? He had a great run, come up just a little bit short at Sonoma with some trouble on the last lap. And again, we talked about this with Larson. Truex is another one of those guys that's strong at just about every kind of track. I like that this weekend. Racing coming up on Sunday from Iowa. I'm Jake Bartecki for WTL. Hey guys, Jake Bartecki for WTL, taking a look at a couple of value plays and maybe a little smart play for this weekend's Iowa Corn 350 at Iowa Speedway. And we're going to start with the smart play, and that's Joey Logano at plus 580. He hasn't been running great this season, but he's starting to heat up. Joey has a knack for winning first-time events. He won the first ever Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, the first ever race at Gateway in St. Louis a couple years ago, and the first ever Bristol Dirt Race. On top of that, he won the second ever All-Star Cup Series race at North Wilkesboro earlier this season. And maybe it's just a coincidence, sure, but he's also heating up. He won the pole at Sonoma, had a top 5 at Gateway. Gateway is a similar type of short track to Iowa, maybe not in configuration, but in size. Look, he's getting really good right now. He's going to win at some point. Maybe take a flyer on him this weekend. The last one, this is a true value play in my book. Ross Chastain at plus 2,800. That's a crazy high number for a guy who can consistently run up front and get top 10s. He's still due for a win this year. His teammate won in Atlanta very closely. That was Daniel Suarez. Yeah, Ross Chastain struggles at short tracks, but this is a clean slate. Maybe that helps him this weekend. Jake Bartecki here for WTL.